Right now, there is a literal, invisible war being fought over the rarest, most heavily guarded commodity on planet Earth, advanced AI hardware. And today we are breaking down the verified hard facts behind an absolutely unprecedented series of AI hardware smuggling raids over in Taiwan. Look, we're going to leave the rumors at the door and look exclusively at what has been officially confirmed. If you want to understand how the global supply chain for cutting-edge silicon actually just fractured in real time, you're in the exact right place. Okay, let's dive right into this.
So, to really understand the gravity of this situation, we need to look at exactly when and how this broke across global business journalism. The whole narrative unspooled incredibly fast over just a few days. First, on June 29th and 30th, Bloomberg officially confirmed that Taiwanese authorities executed coordinated raids on the local facilities of American server giant Supermicro. Then, right after that, on July 1st, the Wall Street Journal documented the official expansion of the Keelung prosecutors' probe into the smuggling of these exact systems. And on that exact same day, Commonwealth Magazine and Reuters verified the specifics of the criminal charges and reported on a massive billion-dollar countermove by Amazon. Remember, these aren't just industry rumors. We're talking about confirmed criminal investigations.
And the immediate, concrete market impact? It was staggering. When international law enforcement targets your physical distribution hubs, the financial bleed is instantaneous. Following the news of those coordinated raids, Bloomberg confirmed a sudden 8 to 9% single-day sell-off in Supermicro stock. Because here's the reality. If a hardware company cannot securely govern its own physical supply chain, its enterprise value can literally be wiped out to the tune of billions of dollars in a matter of hours. The market absolutely does not wait for a trial to happen, it reacts to the physical breach the second it's public.
Now, let's look at the exact scale of that physical breach. We aren't talking about a few microchips slipping away in someone's pocket here. The investigation centers on 50 ultra-advanced Nvidia-powered AI servers. These are massive, multi-million-dollar server racks packing enough raw computational power to train autonomous weapons systems. And they just vanished. They disappeared from official manifests and were routed directly to restricted regions, specifically mainland China, Hong Kong, and Macau. As a result, the criminal investigation for document forgery and systemic breach of trust has now expanded to 9 key individuals.
According to the Keelung prosecutors, this criminal network didn't use, stealth speedboats or heavily armed hidden cargo convoys. Ironically, to smuggle the world's absolute most advanced computing hardware, they just used pen and ink. The ghost loop basically operates in 3 steps. Step 1. A front company in a fully compliant legal jurisdiction places an order for a cluster of high-end AI servers with perfectly legitimate end-user certifications. Step 2. Inside operatives manipulate the internal company manifests and customs clearing documentation, physically forging the serial numbers and the destination routing codes. And finally, Step 3. The mid-ocean divert. While the paperwork claims the cargo is bound for some safe, compliant data center in Europe or Southeast Asia, the physical containers are actually rerouted mid-transit straight into restricted hubs. By the time export auditors even realize what happened, visibility has gone completely black, and those servers are already plugged in and spinning up local models.
Now you might be wondering, why on earth would people risk federal prison for this? Well, the baseline market premium formula for smuggled compute hardware really hinges on the scarcity multiplier. When an item is heavily restricted by international export controls, its value doesn't just double, it scales exponentially. The legal ceiling in these restricted regions forces local companies to use throttled, intentionally slower processors. Because of that hard legal cap, the economic value of pristine, unthrottled, top-tier tech goes absolutely vertical.
To put that into perspective, the real-world financial reality of that math is just mind-blowing. A standard, open-market Supermicro server cluster has an MSRP of right around $300,000. But if you run that exact same unit through the shadow pipeline, it commands a premium of up to $1.2 million. Let that sink in. A single server cluster nets nearly $1 million in clean profit the moment it's delivered. The auditing shifts from automated serial tracking to multi-layered paper forgery, and your regulatory risk shifts from standard corporate compliance fines to full-blown criminal indictments and asset seizures. When the margins look like this, criminal organizations are basically treating silicon exactly the way they treat narcotics.
So right now, we are looking at 2 simultaneous battlefronts. On the physical border, you literally have international customs and prosecutors chasing 50 missing servers through global shipping ports. But meanwhile, on the digital border, corporate enterprises are waking up to a terrifying reality. They have absolutely no idea what software models are actually running inside their own walls. Just as these Taiwan raids were being executed, enterprise security giant Jamf dropped a first-of-its-kind native AI governance plane.
And its specific purpose? To completely lock down Mac fleets inside corporations at the operating system level, actively monitoring every single API call.
And why is Jamf doing this? Because of the massive vulnerabilities inherent to shadow AI. Look, today, autonomous tools like Claude Code, Claude Desktop, and OpenAI Codex are executing local commands straight out of a developer's terminal. If an engineer spins up a local, unverified background agent without explicit corporate permission, they are totally bypassing traditional cloud security. And that creates a severe, immediate risk of proprietary code and data exfiltration. The battle line isn't just a physical shipping container anymore, it's quite literally every single command line prompt running on your local machine.
As officially confirmed by Reuters, timed exactly alongside these massive global disruptions, Amazon Web Services has announced a staggering $1 billion deployment. That is $1 billion in cold hard cash completely dedicated to securing AI infrastructure. But what is truly fascinating here is how exactly they are spending it. Let me be clear, this isn't just another digital patch or a routine cloud software update.
AWS is using that $1 billion to seed thousands of elite, forward-deployed engineers, or FDEs. This is a physical, human intervention. Amazon is taking highly technical specialists, putting them in tight pods of 5 to 6 engineers, and deploying them directly into the physical offices of their enterprise clients. They aren't relying on the public cloud for this anymore. These boots-on-the-ground engineers are there to manually and physically wire secure models directly into a corporation's core infrastructure. It ensures absolute compliance and safety and completely bypasses public cloud vulnerabilities altogether.
And this brings us to the definitive takeaway of this entire explainer. Quote, "The model itself is no longer the core product. The product is now the secure runtime, the physical governance plane, and the boots-on-the-ground human intelligence." End quote. The era of raw compute being freely available and blindly trusted is officially over. The entire industry trajectory has completely inverted. It is now a strict mandate for absolute, physically verified control.
We are entering a highly volatile era where raw compute is being treated like a restricted, top-tier commodity, to the point where massive cloud providers are forced to send human beings to your office just to make sure that tech works safely. The black market silicon highways are wide open, and the enterprise walls are going up incredibly fast. So I will leave you with this exact question to help you assess your own tech stack. How secure is your own local AI runtime? Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep verifying your sources, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.